I present to you Dr. Michael O. Minor, National Director, National Baptist Convention, USA Incorporated, HOPE HHS Partnership.
Good evening. Thank you, Duke, for presenting me on tonight. Good evening, National Baptist Convention, USA Incorporated, from wherever you are all across this country. We are excited that you're joining us on tonight's webinar. Look, before I forget, make sure you type in the chat your name and what city you hail from. And look, give a shout out to your pastor and or your state convention. Welcome to this evening's webinar, TempleCare Matters. I'm so excited about this newest initiative of your NBCUSA HOPE Health Initiative. Tonight, we bring you greetings on behalf of our president, Dr. Jerry Young, who reminds us to envision the future exceptionally. Our leader has guided us skillfully through nearly 2 years of this COVID-19 pandemic. He has been committed to helping our over 31,000 NBCUSA churches navigate the health concerns presented by this pandemic. God bless our president. We also acknowledge our General Secretary, Dr. Alvin Edwards, the chair of our Federal Faith-Based Development Initiative, Dr. Alvin Love, and of course, I'm humbled to serve as your National Director of this HOPE HHS Partnership, commonly known as the HOPE Health Ministry. Well, look, why am I so excited tonight? Well, I'm excited because we have so many of you all watching both on Zoom and on Facebook Live across multiple platforms and on YouTube. We're going to do our best tonight to respond in real time to your questions that you have both on Zoom and on Facebook. So tonight, we're going to provide you with an overview of our newest initiative, TempleCare Matters. We'll also provide an update on the new CDC masking guidelines that were just announced last week. We got to give a shout out for our sponsor. Our webinar tonight is sponsored by NIH's All of Us research program. We want you to join our NBCUSA HOPE team in becoming 1 in a million in the nation's largest ever research study. To learn more, you may go to our landing page, joinallofus.org/NBCUSA, and you know you've gotten to the right page when you see Sister Minor and I. Again, joinallofus.org/NBCUSA.org. And thank you, team, for typing that in the chat for us. All right, this webinar is the first of a series of First Tuesday TempleCare Matters webinars. These are going to evolve into hybrid events. We're going to do this virtually, and we're looking to have in-person watch gatherings all across the country in our local NBCUSA congregations. And look, it's not just going to be us from our national teams. We're looking forward each month to highlight one or more of you all and your congregations and the work you're doing in this TempleCare area. And each time that we have one of these sessions, we'll delve deeper into the 7 pillars of TempleCare Matters. And we'll make sure that we have a good time doing it. Well, y'all, over the next 45 minutes or so, we will hear from 2 of our NBCUSA's HOPE's team members who help us frame this evening's topics. So let me begin by introducing them. And of course, we're going to have a special guest coming in that I'll introduce later. All right. So Nettie Johnson will share an overview of TempleCare Matters. Sister Nettie Johnson is an author, podcaster, award-winning speaker, teacher, and founder of Education for Transformation, a wellness organization that develops and delivers curated education and programming addressing Black health disparities. A degreed and NCHEC credentialed health educator. That means she just didn't do this on her own. She got some education behind us, as they say down south. Nettie also holds multiple fitness and health coaching certifications. Directly related to this topic of the webinar series, she's done some other things that help us associate about getting moving. And she has done so much and so many things until she was selected as a Robert Wood Johnson Foundation Culture of Health Leader, a very prestigious honor, and we're glad for her for that. She serves as the National Physical Fitness Coordinator of the National Baptist Convention USA Incorporated, Hope HHS Partnership, and she is Director of Let's Move National Baptist. Ladies and gentlemen, Sister Nettie Johnson. All right. And our second panelist tonight is Sister Ellen McKnight, who will talk about some nutritional aspects of what we're doing tonight. Well, Ellen is the principal partner of the Maxine firm. Now, if you haven't heard of the Maxine firm, you're going to hear about it. The Maxine firm is a nutrition, public health, and wellness firm. It's powered by a network of healthcare professionals whose primary objective is chronic disease prevention in urban and rural areas. Promoting healthy lifestyle changes and providing urban communities with economic development opportunities by way of fresh food access is Ellen's life goal and passion. Now, she's a member of the Baton Rouge Dietetic Association, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, National Organization of Blacks in Dietetics and Nutrition, and of course, she wants to make sure I say this, and a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. She serves as the National Nutrition Coordinator for our NBCUSA H.O.P.E Health Ministry, and I'm going to add this in for free, and she is working on her doctorate in her field of study. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, Sister Ellen McKnight. All right. Well, everybody, again, we want you to type in where you're from, your city, and if your pastor and your state convention. Again, we welcome everybody that's watching us on Facebook. I got the Facebook set up here on one side, and I got Zoom in the front. Thank you all. You can do the same, and we will continue. We'll continue to provide, to do everything we can to answer your questions and gain your feedback. And I want to say, before we go any further tonight, Nettie, Ellen, and Duke, I wonder which one of these people on tonight will be one of our future guests on our first Tuesday TempleCare Matters webinars. Who knows? All right, let's get it on. All right, let's learn all about the TempleCare Matters, folks. So let's bring Sister Nettie in, and we're going to welcome again to this evening's webinar. All right, so Sister Nettie, we're going to do something. Everybody that's Sister Nettie. We've seen her. Now we're going to highlight the TempleCare Matters JPEG. All right, so Duke's going to spotlight himself. There you go. And so, Sister Nettie, everybody on this, including me, we want to know what was the genesis of this TempleCare Matters initiative.
Well, Dr. Miner, as I think we're all aware, we're living in a time where there are an abundance of matter movements. You think about all of the slogans and mottos around what matters. And they're important because they really do drive collective attention, advocacy, resources, and action to very important causes that often have been neglected and need that attention. And if we think about our health as African Americans for hundreds of years, for a myriad of reasons, many if not most, African Americans have experienced a lack of consistent and holistic care of our earthly temples. The pandemic that we just went through, it amplified the challenges of African American health. And so the Hope Ministry has for years been working to advance our health. And this is coming together to really just remind us all that our health matters, our temple care matters. And while our challenges are complex, African American health disparities run deep. We know that God is able, and He desires that we live in good health, and He equips us to live in alignment with His will. So what we have here with TempleCare Matters is a collective that is designed to leverage health awareness to improve our health outcomes. If we were to put a really just kind of succinct sentence on it, TempleCare Matters is a collective of education, programs, resources that improve and protect African American health.
Wow, I love that. I love that. I love that. A collection. And we want everybody to know that's part of our National Baptist Convention USA audience, those that are watching tonight and those that are watching in the future. That collection We look can include some of the things you all are doing there, those wonderful things you are doing in those congregations all across the country that we're yet to know about. Well, look, you gave us kind of a snippet what this is talking about, but I'd like for you to take a moment to talk about the 7 pillars of the TempleCare Matters initiative.
Sure. And Dr. Miner, you're right on. It is a collaborative. This is a collaborative where we're not only putting forth the work that the Hope Ministry is doing, but we are highlighting work that is being done all across the nation in National Baptist conventions and organizations that also want to collaborate with us. But let's go through these 7 pillars.
Okay.
On the graphic there, we have 7 areas that the work that has been done and is forthcoming impact. And the first one has to do with renewing our minds. We're looking at the spiritual and physical connections of health. We're going to talk about cultural impacts. You know, our culture really does impact how we think, and how we think impacts our behavior. And we're also going to, under this renewing our mind, dig into things like how to develop healthy habits, spiritual, physical disciplines, so that we can develop healthy lifestyles. The second pillar has to do with nutrition, where we have a wide variety of education and resources around healthy eating to not only get the information, but to make sure that it is livable and enjoyable, right? And part of that is we do have an upcoming USDA collaboration that we're excited about. The third pillar is Let's Move National Baptist, which we'll be talking about a little bit more later on this evening. The fourth pillar deals with a topic that, you know, we often don't talk about enough, and it is very significant in our community. And we're going to be talking about obesity in Black America. Last year, the Hope Ministry had a number of webinars where we talked about turning obesity around. And so we're going to continue those discussions and education opportunities going forward. The next pillar has to do with health knowledge and a legacy. And this is something that we've been doing for as long, Dr. Miner, as you know, Hope has been in Genesis, and that's been lifting monthly health awarenesses. So we every month bring some health topic to the forefront, connecting with information, allied health organizations to help. And we also, under this, in looking at where we are now, also looking forward, we're very excited about our ongoing partnership with the All of Us research program. So there we're talking about increasing our knowledge of what we know now and also impacting our health legacy in the future. We have 2 more pillars. The next one has to do with safety and preparedness. And again, with COVID coming up, we provided a toolkit to kind of help assist churches as they were reopening, how to do so safely. And so we continue to be a resource for providing information so that we can be prepared and respond appropriately when public health matters do impact us in our churches. We're also in this area, an area where we can resource, where we can be a connection point between these organizations and resources to get them out through the convention into the churches so that we can impact our congregations and the communities where our churches sit and serve. And then the last one is actually one of my favorites, and it's one of the ways that I first kind of got connected with Hope. And this has to do with health ambassador training, whereas, as you all may know, we have health ambassadors across the nation. We're training them so that churches can start health ministries or grow their health ministries if they already have them existing. And we also do have a developed regional coordinator network that helps to get the information out to facilitate it. So all 7 of these elements come together. We're touching a lot of areas of nice wide reach that can help us to address the challenges that we have in improving and protecting our health.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. And we're going to highlight our different regions just before we go to our Q&A on this evening. All right, well, look, I really like this comprehensive integrated approach to keeping ourselves trained well. Mind, body, and spirit, they all got to be in sync. I also like the number 7. You know, I am a Baptist preacher, and the number 7 is that number of completion. So now, Sister Nettie, is there a particular mindset people should have to participate in the TempleCare Matters?
Definitely, definitely. We have to start with the basic truth that apart from God, we can do nothing, and through Christ, all things are possible. And that also does impact our health. And so we want to just start with a renewing of our minds. So often, because of oppression, systematic oppression, we have become accustomed as a people and normalized living beneath our God-given potential as it relates to health. There are barriers and all kinds of things that have kept our people down for such a long time that we've normalized some conditions and some behaviors, some situations that do not benefit our health. But as we renew our minds, the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. As we renew our minds and we set our minds on what God says is possible, and then start to see and advocate for resources, things that we can draw to our churches and our communities, we can begin to see change. And it's going to start, Dr. Miner, with, I think, a beautiful question that Jesus asked when he said, do you want to be well? And
Wow.
we'll talk about that in the Let's Move National Baptist as one of our first topics as we get started in that Healthy Moving initiative coming up soon.
All right, look, Sister Ned, I know you just chomping at the bit to talk about that Let's Move National Baptist, but look, I'm working on my mindset right now. I'm ready to get pumped up, and I'm looking forward to learning more about this Let's Move shortly. So we make our temples complete. Make our temples complete. All right, but the first thing we want to do, before we do that, we want to hear from Sister Ellen and have her discuss some things about the nutrition component of TempleCare matters. So thanks for now, Sister Nettie. All right, so Sister Ellen. All right, and again, thank everybody for joining tonight. Those that are on Zoom, would you mind just putting and sharing? Look, just share on your Facebook page. If they're on Facebook, if you're on Zoom, as Sister Ellen is doing right now, type in and let us know your church name, your convention, and where you're from. We're just pleased in the middle of this. Everybody's had a lot of Zoom meetings, so we're thankful for everybody who joined us on this evening. Look, please type in your questions, your comments, and we'll do our best to respond on this evening. All right, Ellen, welcome again. All right, pillar number 2 of our TempleCare Matters, nutrition. Okay, y'all, we're so fortunate to have one of our emerging national voices about nutrition. You know, it's good to have some voices, but I'm happy, glad, as they said, to have a national voice on nutrition join us on tonight. I'm going to practice in this soon to become Dr. Ellen McKnight. So I want to be one of the first to share that out there, okay, to share with us this evening. All right, Sister Ellen, would you share briefly about your recent work in nutrition in the Baton Rouge area?
So thank you so much, Dr. Miner. Hello and good evening, everyone. My name is Ellen McKnight. I'm a registered dietitian and a public health advocate. And I have the privilege of leading the Maxine firm. We're a public health engagement firm, and the work that we've had the privilege to do around public health and nutrition across the state of Louisiana and in the Baton Rouge area speaks to providing culturally appropriate health education programming. So that comes in forms like symposiums, workshops, workout sessions. We've had the opportunity to partner with organizations from across the state, so municipalities, public, private entities, nonprofits, so on and so forth. But the main goal and the thing that we've been able to do, when I say a network of healthcare professionals, I'm talking about myself. I'm also talking about a licensed clinical psychologist, primary care provider, horticulturalist, mental health care specialist. But what we've had the privilege to do is demystify chronic disease and chronic illness and draw a direct correlation between nutrition, intake, and our lifestyle changes, and directly link them to certain chronic illnesses and certain chronic diseases, and essentially equip, empower, and educate folks in rural and urban communities around combating those diseases and really preventing them and shifting the culture around health for themselves and their families.
Wow. You've really been busy sharing messaging about healthy nutrition.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. So now this is the key. Why is balanced nutrition important? Look, can I just eat food bad for, say, a few days, and then for a few days I eat some good food, and that's not to be balanced it out? That's a good balancing act. I'm saying with a smile, of course.
Right. Well, Dr. Miner, that's a really good question, and I have one of your favorite things here.
Oh, she bought the plate. Oh, awesome. Okay.
Nutrition is so very important. And so, it's incumbent on us that we balance our plates every day. So many entities are counting on us not to be disciplined, not for counting on us not to be informed, counting on us to put the wrong things in our bodies. You know, if National Baptists or any of us ever really got super serious about balancing our plates, then we will put, you know, the pharmaceutical companies out of business. We put the healthcare industry out of business. Listen, I'm trying to tell you. So listen, it's important to balance your plate. Balancing your plate means this. It means that you have a variety of foods on your plate, okay? It means that you have a variety of colors on your plate, because if everything on your plate is either brown or white or yellow, 9 times out of 10, it's either high in saturated fat, and we know that that's linked to heart disease. It's either high in sodium, and we know that that's linked to hypertension and high blood pressure, or it's high in added sugar, and we know that that's linked to type 2 diabetes. So again, we want to make certain that plate is colorful. You have all the food groups. And here's the news flash. All of the food groups are important, but the most important groups are the are the fruits and vegetables on your plate, because they offer the most vitamins and minerals. And we know that those vitamins and minerals, you know, that's what we need to prevent chronic disease, right? And we know that they are the most colorful. And we know that those colorful foods, they offer us antioxidants that help fight free radicals in our bodies that cause cancer. So again, make certain that plate is colorful. Make certain that over half of that plate is fruits and vegetables. And you want to make certain that you have all the groups on your plate for balance.
Well, look, I just want you to settle one thing for us tonight. I want to make sure you settle this night, okay? Let everybody know that macaroni and cheese is not a vegetable, right?
No, macaroni and cheese is not a vegetable, but it's part of my plate. But in all things, moderation, right? Our body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, and so we have to be good stewards of the body. So macaroni and cheese in moderation, but you know what? You might want to check out some vegan-friendly options. You might want to, you know, check out Veganish, and there are ways that you can do macaroni and cheese healthier.
Okay, I just brought that up because sometimes I go to some of these things at the churches, and they got fried chicken, macaroni, cheese, and cake. I'm trying to find where the green vegetables at. But anyway, I digress.
Well. You know, that's just an opportunity. We talk about shifting the culture. You know, a lot of times, you know, our churches are places that we fellowship, and, you know, one of the reasons why I was drawn to the Hope Ministry and the work that National Baptist is doing is because when I was in school, I saw a research article about a certain preacher who banned fried chicken from his church. And so when I said, who is this brethren? And so I looked the person up, and that led me to you, but I didn't know that you were already in National Baptist. And so, you know, those are just some cultural shifts that we can do, because there's no sense in folks having, you know, we're going to funerals and folks are dying from heart attacks at young ages, and then we're feeding people at the repast that cause heart attacks.
Wow, look, all right, y'all heard it tonight. So look, we go to the repast, folks, and somebody's already died. Now we're feeding them stuff that can, okay, we got to keep, anyway, I'm gonna move on. The funeral home getting enough business already. Okay, now balanced nutrition has to be an everyday practice. Okay, now as Black people, we love our soul food. Got to taste right. Now, so Ellen, what are some ways to balance our plate daily and enjoy eating what's on it? As some folks say, I ain't eating no rabbit food.
That's right. And you know what? It does not have to be rabbit food. And sometimes soul food gets a bad rap. Listen, guys, diabetes is not a part of our culture. It does not have to be a part of our identity, okay? We can have food that are rich in vegetables, rich in, you know, fruits and things like that. It's all about how to prepare our meals. So, you know, when we think about soul food, some folks, you know, think about greens. Well, greens are actually very healthy for you, high in vitamin K, so on and so forth. But listen, you know, it's all about how we prepare them. Sometimes we prepare our greens or our beans with fattier meats. So like pork or ham hocks and things like that. Well, we know the fewer the feet, the leaner the meat. So if we want to make certain that we have that our food has flavor, then we can consider choosing a more lean meat. So perhaps smoked turkey or something like that instead of smoked pork, right? We know that is leaner. We also can consider using less actual table salt to season our food and more fresh seasonings. So in Louisiana, we use the Trinity down here. So that's garlic, onion, celery, bell pepper, so we can uh, season our food with fresh vegetables. We can change out some of the proteins that we use to season our meat. So instead of pork, we can try turkey, and also the preparation methods. We really got to be cognizant about how often we are consuming fried foods, right? And so you're gonna have to track that, right? So if you know that you're consuming fried foods 3 times a week, let's start busting that down to 1 time a week, right? And replacing the fried preparation method with baked, broiled, or grilled. And that's how we can keep our soul foods, and they won't hurt our soul or our hearts or our
Wow. Keep the soul and it won't hurt our soul. Woo, right. Keep the soul. Won't hurt our soul. And I also know Sister Nettie, back in the day, we used to eat bad stuff, but then we ran out and worked all day. And now I get to something else here. We'll talk about that later. Y'all getting me started. But anyway, we are what we eat, for better, for worse. Now, coming on the third Sunday this month, we have one of our major NBCS Hope Health observances, Taste Test Sunday. Would you share a little bit about this observance and what our NBCUSA congregation can do to participate?
Yes, so we have several observances, and March is National Nutrition Month. And so Taste Test Sunday is an opportunity for congregations and individuals to share some of their favorite dishes with a healthier spin. So for example, if you are interested in healthier sweets, for example, then we would recommend that you would take a cookie or a brownie and substitute some of the preparation methods or substitute some of the ingredients so that it can be healthier to intake, right? And so I'm in the chat, I'm going to drop a link from the American Diabetes Association that has a list of different desserts that you can try, some things that you are accustomed to, eating, perhaps pies, cookies, brownies, but it gives a healthier twist, if you will. All right. So if you are doing that, if you are going to be cooking on Taste Test Sunday, it's going to be March 20th. Take a look at that list. You might already have a healthy recipe. And once you make that healthy recipe, make certain that you tag Hope and that you use the hashtag, and they'll be provided in the chat, and they'll also be provided via the follow-up email.
All right. We're looking for some of y'all pictures on March 20th to go to our Facebook page. We want to see some of those healthy desserts, those healthy other things that you prepare. Let's do it all up on that Sunday. All right, everyone, we're looking forward now. Don't let us down, National Baptist Convention USA Incorporated Nation. Thanks so much, Sister Ellen, for sharing with us this evening. Thank you. All right. Now we're going to do a pause for the cause. Okay. We want to talk about our ongoing collaboration with the National Institutes of Health, the All of Us Research Program. Our convention has partnered with the All of Us Research Program for the National Institutes of Health. We're excited about this. We've received a $750,000 per year over the next 5 years grant to do this work. And this All of Us Research Program is something that's trying to help speed up research. It was the last major health initiative that was instituted under the Obama administration. Through this effort, we hope that more than 1 million people will join from all across the nation. People, when you join, we give information about their health, their habits, and what it's like to where they live. They find information about their DNA. And by looking for these patterns of what's going on with you, researchers may learn more things about what affects our health, not necessarily what makes us sick all the time, but what makes us healthy. And, for us as National Baptists, and this comes from my heart, we also hope that this will help us make major progress in fighting the ravages of sickle cell disease. Sickle cell disease has been around for more than 100 years. Then HIV/AIDS has been around for less than 30 years, and they have all kinds of, about 30 to 40 years, they have all kinds of treatments and things. It's become a chronic disease. And we really feel like that by working with this All of Us Research Program, with a number of people already that have enrolled that have sickle cell or the sickle cell trait, that we'll be able to find some things through things like gene therapy that can help us find, look, may I be bold, not only find better treatments, but maybe working together in this initiative, we can find a cure for sickle cell disease. So look, why don't you do this evening? Go ahead and go to our landing page. And our landing page, and you see there's several pages out there. Go to the page where you see, and let me close up my picture for a second. And go to the one you see the picture there. Okay, hold on. All right. Let me go this way and go to see one of the picture. And that's our webpage, joinallofus.org/NBCUSA. Do that tonight. We've had so far hundreds of people across the National Baptist Convention, USA Incorporated, to sign up. So we encourage you to do that. When we got the announcement, Dr. Young was quoted as saying that it was not lost on him that the week that we got the announcement, the month that we got the announcement, was also Sickle Cell Disease Awareness Month. You all know somebody that has sickle cell. You yourself may have sickle cell or the sickle cell trait. So why don't you come tonight and go to joinallofus.org/NBCUSA and join us as we participate in this initiative. All right. And don't forget the right landing page. The landing page you see is right there to the right of me here. There's several pages for all of us. We want you to go to one that's the National Baptist. It's got the picture of me and my wife, and it's got the National Baptist logo. Why don't you go tonight and check it out? God bless you. God keep you on that. All right. So I know you all. Sister Nettie has been chomping at the bits. She wants to really get to where we are tonight. But look, before I forget, I do want to do 2 shout outs. I want to do a shout out to Dr. Alvin Love, who joined us tonight, watching us from Chicago on Facebook. And we do want to recognize Dr. Geraldine Young Canada, who's holding us down on our Facebook page and on our National Baptist Facebook page, and all of us that are making this thing happen tonight. God bless you. All right. Now we're going to bring back Sister Nettie to talk about our first major effort of under TempleCare Matters. And don't forget, we got a special surprise for you all after this. We got a special guest coming after we get through with Sister Nettie. Very special guest. So don't y'all just hold tight. A very special guest coming to you after Sister Nettie. Special guest, very special guest coming after Sister Nettie.
This is a special one.
It's a very special guest. And when we're about it to really be in tune, you're really going to be enlightened about our very special guest on tonight. All right. So today, under the exercise pillar of TempleCare Matters, we are launching Let's Move National Baptist. Yay! This is our nod to former First Lady Michelle Obama's Let's Move initiative that focused on exercise and our youth, and that spread to the parents and the pastors and everybody else. So, Sister Nettie, what is the focus? Well, hold on. You know what? Let's see our logo. Y'all, look at this beautiful looking logo here. This is our logo for Let's Move National Baptist. Hey, look at that. Look at how that looks. Let's Move National Baptist, moving the body of Christ for better health and wholeness. Oh, wow. That's beautiful. Okay. All right. So, Sister Nettie, what is the focus of Let's Move National Baptist?
All right. Well, I'm actually going to take my face off and I'm going to share my screen and pull up a couple of slides as we go through on this. Y'all, I'm so incredibly excited that we are relaunching Let's Move National Baptist with a renewed and I do believe a much more effective model. Y'all, exercise is important. I mean, it is just very, very important for our bodies. God made our bodies to move. And if we were to move our bodies regularly, we can reduce the risk for cardiovascular disease, for some cancers, for metabolic syndrome, for stroke. It can improve our mood. It can help mental health. It can prevent or help us manage type 2 diabetes, hypertension, strengthen our heart, improve our bone health. The list just goes on and on and on. And as a matter of fact, there was a recent study published this year, actually, in the JAMA, that said that if people over 40, so I'm talking to folks like, you know, some of us that have some experience behind us, if we were to increase our activity by just 10 minutes, add 10 more minutes of moderate intensity activity per day, 10 minutes, that in this nation, they could save 110,000 lives. And if it was more, it literally could bring death rates down more than that. So exercise is important for us. It's healthy for us. But what happens is that we often don't do it. Most people do not exercise enough for their health. And a lot of times we start and stop and start and stop, and there's just not consistency. So here's what we're doing with Let's Move National Baptist. Let's Move National Baptist is an inclusive program that encourages and supports members and friends of National Baptist Convention USA Incorporated churches all across the nation to engage in meaningful movement daily. Meaningful movement daily. Now, as we break this down, I want you to kind of take a look over on the side of the screen. I think that my picture is kind of covering up one of the images. And a lot of times at the beginning of the year, people start these challenges, walk for 100 miles this month. Let's ride a bike this, we have all of these different challenges. People join gyms, they join programs. And usually by about this time of the year, by March, most of those efforts have fizzled out. They've actually found that 75%, 3 out of 4 people that start these challenges and these activity things never complete them. And one other thing that I really want to point out, Dr. Miner, that is so important is if you look at the imagery on the side, this is typically what a lot of, exercise type organizations and these challenges, the kinds of things that they are usually promoting or the populations that they are promoting. And notice it's all sunshiny and happy and everybody is glad. But, for most of us or for many of us, the imagery that we actually can see related to activity may look more like what we're seeing on this screen. I think my picture's in the way, but think about people who do not have the ability to move. We can create a challenge to say, everybody, let's walk 100 miles, but what if you have illness or disease such that that is not possible or painful? We can say, oh, let's do one where we're gonna ride our bike, but what if it's not safe to do so? Or what if there is a predefined set of things, and that's typically how it does. We try to motivate everybody to do a certain thing a certain number of times a week. But what if we honestly it doesn't interest us? It doesn't sound like something that we want to do. And we'd rather be like that sister down at the bottom, just, chilling because it doesn't interest us, right? Doesn't this make sense? And I think this is where a lot of these very well-meaning challenges and programs fall short, is because they're prescriptive and they try to do this one-size-fits-all approach. Now, what we're doing with the All of Us research program and precision medicine, we know that one size does not fit all across the board. We are uniquely made. We have unique situations in our bodies. We have unique preferences. We have unique abilities. We have unique paths to wellness. So what we're doing with this program, y'all, can y'all tell I'm excited? That I'm so excited about.
Yes, you are.
Is that this program will allow us to help individuals to curate activity so that we are creating daily disciplines. Y'all, I call them holy health habits. So holy, that's right.
Holy health habits.
Devoted to God. It is TempleCare. As a matter of fact, I'm going to encourage everybody to use the hashtag TempleCare and Let's Move NBC when we're sharing. We are working to help everyone. This is an inclusive program to find your fit, what will work for your body, your status, where you are, and what would be a healthy progression for you. Commit to it daily so that we're making exercise a healthy habit. So it's inclusive. And we're going to uncover what does meaningful movement mean for individuals and encourage people to do it daily. Okay. All right. So what would you get if you join this program?
Okay.
Joining this program, and by the way, it's free. It is free to you.
Is free?
It's like salvation. There is a cost. Like Jesus paid the price, but it's free to us, right?
Okay, gotcha.
The cost, but it's free for you to participate. So that's the beauty of it here. You're going to get information. We're going to send out information about the benefits of exercise, pros and cons on different types of exercise, safety considerations, and we're also going to talk about barriers, because information means nothing if there are barriers that we don't actually put it into actual application and make it real in our lives. A big part of it, y'all, is to examine ourselves, and the whole first month is going to be examination. We want to look at our status. We want to look at what kind of, restrictions do we have? Are there things that just would not be beneficial for me? And what would be a beneficial, helpful movement going forward? Dr. Miner, what came to my mind here, going back to one size does not fit all. And this is what we mean about meaningful movement. Meaningful movement means different things to different people. And it also can mean different things to the same person at different times and stages. Let me give you a quick example. I'm an active person. I love working out. It is actually fun to me. And running is kind of a go-to, but I am also very clumsy. And last year I broke both of my feet at 2 different times.
Wow.
I know, it's pathetic, right? At that point, I was actually non-weight bearing on my feet for a number of months. And so the things that were meaningful movement to me that I was used to doing was not possible. Little movements like moving my toes to pick up a rag off the floor so that I can redevelop the muscles around my metatarsals that my physical therapist gave me to do, that I thought that was meaningful movement for me. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And versus me saying, let me go and try to do some chair aerobics or those kinds of things. What is it going to move my body forward and improve my health? Here's one other example. For individuals that maybe had COVID and maybe are having some long haul effects, or were in that period where you were redeveloping your respiratory, y'all, the movement of air in your lungs is meaningful.
Wow.
What I mean about how when we frame this, and we're going back to mindset, we want to frame it around what is meaningful for anyone. So this program can fit a person in their 20s, their 30s, a person that is 83 years old. And if their meaningful movement is getting out into their garden, or functional fitness so that you can get up and out of a chair safely, we're going to help you examine where you are and point you to resources so that you can take what your medical professional is telling you, use those information, and we're just getting the support behind it to help you to bring that into a regular happening in your life so it can become a habit. 2 more things. Of course, it's going to be spiritually grounded. We're going to use biblical principles so that we can see this as a spiritual discipline, because that is where our power and our motivation comes. Willpower is temporary. It has to be renewed. God's power is eternal. And we want to tap into the energy, the empowerment, the motivation that we have through Holy Spirit by making this physical thing a God thing. And then we also are going to have the addition of community, connecting with like-minded individuals. And Dr. Miner, you're going to talk about how many individuals we're really trying to get on this program so that we can have camaraderie, support, and maybe some enjoyment down the journey. And of course, there will be some recognition and some swag. We're going to have some prizes for churches that have 25 or more participants to enroll in this free program. They'll be acknowledged on the Let's Move National Baptist Wall of Fitness. And we also will have swag available for individuals that move more than 100 days, meaningful movement. And we want it to be long enough so that it becomes a habit, like brushing our teeth, that kind of sort of thing. Let's see, to support this, we have a number of resources that are going to be available. We have JPEGs and images.
Wow.
You to share this with other people in your churches and in your community. Remember, our outreach goes beyond the 4 walls of the church. We are to be lights, right, in our community. So we want to improve and get other folks to sign up. And signing up is pretty simple. We'll be able to do that by going to Let's Move NBC.com.
Let's Move NBC.com. Let's Move NBC.com. Let's Move NBC. Can I do my deep voice? Let's Move NBC.com.
Yes,
there
sir.
We go.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Wow. You got me excited. You know, you bringing back memories of when we're doing the work with the former First Lady Michelle Obama. Wow. You know what? You know, it's important for us to move, but you know, I thought today it tells us that our couches and recliners are our best friends. It seems like now we need some new best friends.
We do. And the key is the thing that can help us to not get overwhelmed or to lose motivation is to really start where we are into determined steps that will safely progress us and to continue that, because success breeds success. It's a concept called self-efficacy. When we're able to do things successfully, it motivates us to move on and on. So we're going to shift those brands. It's shifting of culture, as Sister Ellen talked about. We have a culture for food. We also have a culture regarding activity. And so we're trying to shift that to make regular movement, meaningful movement, part of just how we exist.
Well, would you impact? I think we talked about some of the things about what Let's Move National Baptist is, but what about some things that it's not? What is it isn't? Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's not a challenge. It's not a 21-day challenge, a 30-day challenge. Y'all, if you're in the chat, can you go on ahead and just put in a 1 if you've ever done any of those challenges? Like 21 days, we're going to do this, 30 days, let's do this. And they can breed a lot of energy. But again, as I mentioned earlier, data shows that 75% of the time people don't even complete them. And oftentimes it blocks individuals from being able to participate if their situations, their environment, their status doesn't allow them to fit in that mold. So no, we're not asking people to join a challenge. We're encouraging all of us to make a commitment, a lifelong commitment to moving our body in ways that progresses, protects, advances our health. And it's going to look different for different people. And that's the exciting thing about it. We get to do what will honor our bodies, but all together, which may be different things, right? And we'll find subsets of groups that are doing the same thing, but together we're all moving towards better physical stewardship, honoring God, and then our bodies are more healthy. That's Lanyap.
Okay, cool, everybody. We need some new best friends. Okay. All right. So new best friends. All right, so we got to talk about this enrollment piece, don't we? Okay.
Yeah.
So I got a surprise I'm gonna spring on in a minute about this enrollment. So now, what's this thing you got laid out for? Just make sure we're clear on this enrollment piece that we're talking about. How are we gonna line that up on that enrollment?
All right. So we have some goals, and first, let me just show you how simple it is to sign up. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen again.
Go ahead.
This is the new Let's Move National Baptist website.
Okay.
And you come into it and you scroll down, there's some basic information talking about what it is. And if you click this sign up now button, it'll take you down to the bottom, but again, it'll scroll. And
so they can do that tonight. They ain't got to wait till later on. They can they can do it right now. Go on, click that button.
Don't wait. Well, if you click the button, it'll just take you right down to the bottom. It'll move you right down there to where this comes in. And look at how simple it is. You enter your name. I would put mine in here. Your first name, your last name, your church affiliation, city and state. That's important for something that Dr. Miner is going to share with us. And then there is a liability release here that you want to click and read that to make sure that you understand that, the risks that are involved with being active and so on and so forth. You will have to click that you agree to the liability release, and then you click enroll me. That's it. You're in the list. Now, we're not going to kill you with emails, but periodically you will get information sent directly to you in your inbox that will first start with some mindset issues, that will point to resources and things that are readily available, that are free, that can maybe help you to use things that you may have more effectively. And here's the key part. Periodically, there will be short surveys. None of them will take more than 2 minutes to fill out. Most of them will take about 1. But as you fill out those surveys, what it will do is it will curate your experience for you. So it will help us to know, are you in a functional fitness area? Are you in a building habit area? Or are you in a improving performance area? And that will help us to curate the resources that we have. And here's the exciting part. It will also help us to be able to track progress, right? We want to see benefits and to celebrate benefits with you. So please, as those surveys, and again, they won't come very often, but they all will take less than 1 minute. You don't have to do them. But if you do, it opens the door to additional resources that will be designed to suit you.
Okay. All right. Be just right for me. Okay. I'm not a marathon runner, but I'm a good walker. Okay.
All good. All good. Look, I'm not running marathons now either with my broke feet.
You know what? I'm gonna hold up, y'all. We got a big surprise coming up about this Let's Move that involves dollars and cents. But I'm gonna keep the suspense going. So, Cincinnati, we're gonna pause for a minute. I'm gonna bring on our special guest. I'm gonna keep the people just holding on just for a second. Yeah, we got a special. So hold on, we're bringing our special guest tonight. But we got a special thing dealing with dollars and cents on this Let's Move in just a second. But before we announce that surprise, we want to address the CDC's new masking guidelines announced last week. And I want you to know we're fortunate to have a special guest tonight, one of our NBCUSA Hope team members that has been on the front lines. That's right. During this pandemic, on the research, on the messaging, when they were getting things with the vaccination, she was making it do what it do. All right. Briefly, I can't tell you about everything that she's done because it would take me about a half hour to go through all of it. But I'm going to give you just the super highlights. That Dr. Williams is an associate professor of cancer health equity at the University of Kentucky School of Nursing. There we go. She is director of the Community Health Advocacy Interventions Generating Equity Change Team and assistant director for the Cancer Health Equity at the NCI designated Markey Center, where she holds the endowed research professorship in cancer health equity. I could go on like this for just time and time again. She is awesome. She is well qualified, and I'm glad that she's my friend. Welcome tonight, Dr. Lavora.
Thank you, and for that introduction.
All right, so look, we know that you got a busy schedule. You're super tired, and when you do this, you got to go get so you can get some regenerate. But I got a couple questions to ask you tonight. First of all, what are the new CDC mask guidelines?
Well, here they are. So last week, you guys are aware that the CDC released new guidelines. Now, the difference about these guidelines is that prior to this one, everything was based on the national level. So kind of like Cincinnati was saying, one size fits all, right? So now these guidelines are based on the level of infection within your individual community. And so what the CDC did is they gave us three colors. They gave us orange, which means there's a high level of infection in your community. They gave us a yellow, which is a medium color. And then they gave us green, which is the low level of infection in your community. And based on these guidelines, the CDC recommends whether you should wear a mask and socially distance or not. So they use three measures to determine these colors. Measure number one is the number of new COVID-19 hospital admissions in the last 7 days within your community. Number two is the percent of hospital beds that are occupied by COVID patients. And then number three, the total new cases of COVID-19 in your community over the last 7 days. So those are the colors and what the colors mean.
All right, everybody, you hear that? It depends on where you are. And if you just feel totally uncomfortable, hey, keep on masking. Not going to be a problem. All right. So now it gets to my next final question for you this evening. What implications does this have for us for in-person gatherings in our NBCUSA churches?
Well, it depends. So it depends on where you live. So if you go to the CDC's website, you will quickly notice that most of the US is orange, which means the highest level of infection within that community. So let's not be confused at all. The pandemic is not over. So if you go to the website, what you will be able to do is put in your state, and you can put in your county, and it will give you your color, and it will give you guidelines whether to mask or not.
Okay.
Still, vaccinations are strongly encouraged. They are our best defense against fighting this pandemic.
Okay.
And you can continue to wear your mask. As Dr. Miner said, you don't have to take it off because the CDC said take it off. I'm still going to wear mine because you guys know that this pandemic is very dynamic. One day you might be green, but within your community, it might go back up to yellow or orange. So be safe. And what that means as far as our congregations is, just because this Sunday you're in there and your community is green and you're not wearing your mask, it doesn't mean that when you come to Bible study on Wednesday that you won't need your mask. So just, stay proactive.
All right. And look, we putting it in the chat. They'll go direct to the cdc.gov. And as soon as you go in there, they have the link, put your location in it, and it'll let you know some information about that. Use common sense, but I understand, as my late godfather said, common sense ain't common. All right. But Dr. LaVore, look, we appreciate your layperson level responses to our questions. You've always been there. We look forward to any updates that you might have as things emerge from us. And look, we're going to bid you leave so that you can rest, know that you had a busy day. But thank you so much. And NBCUSA Nation, we are so privileged to have a person of Dr. LaVore caliber on our team. Thank you, Dr. LaVore.
Thank you. I'll be safe.
All righty. Okay. All right. So we got that in. And look, again, we posted in the chat the link. Dr. Young wanted to make sure that we had a section on our National Baptist Convention, nationalbaptist.com webpage with resources about COVID-19. So go there on the resources page for COVID, and you'll find on there the link for resources for the churches. And we have on there our reopening pamphlet. So just go there and find information. And of course, if you get lost or somewhere, you can always email us at info at hopenbc.com, and we can provide you some information. It's info at hopenbc.com, and we'll be able to follow up with you. All right. Look, so we're going to come back up here now. And look, if you don't know a whole lot about Dr. LaVore Williams, you can I dare you to Google her, and you'll learn a bunch of things about some powerful people that are part of our denomination. And I might not say, since we nominated a Black woman to the Supreme Court, some powerful women, Black women of color in our convention that are doing great things for us. All right. Well, I have a surprise to share, Sister Nettie. Come on, Duke, bring it back up about enrollment, okay?
Uh-oh.
All right, you ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Now for the surprise. Our state convention, Mid-South churches, and our local Rising Sun Usher Federation have 100 people already ready. We've got them on that. They're waiting for the link. We get them all committed. That's 10% of your goal already done tonight. I already talked to Pastor Bernard Montgomery, our vice president at large, and the president of our Usher Federation. We've already landed up. We've been talking about it before him. We got 100 people in various states ready to rock and roll. So now I will make a challenge to all of my fellow state convention presidents and all the usher groups and health ministries across our NBCUSA nation. I want you all to meet or beat us. I want you to look, we're in Mississippi down there. Okay. Y'all, these urban areas. All right. So we can get 100 folks down in rural Mississippi, in the northern part. I know what you all can do. All right. So now this is what we're going to do. I wanted to make it a little exciting for this month of March, Sister Nettie. We have some gift cards for the health ministries for the top 4 state conventions and Let's Move enrollments today through March 31st. All right, some gift cards for the state conventions health ministries. All right. Will you email us access to the recording? All right, but everybody's all getting excited about it. It's on our Facebook page. All right, but we're looking to do some on YouTube as well, don't we? Everybody getting excited. All excitement. Well, for 4th place, a $250 gift card. For 3rd place, a $500 gift card. For 2nd place, a $750 gift card. And for 1st place, $1,000 for your state convention's health ministry. Yes, we enroll for Let's Move NBC USA, March 1st to March 31st. And we're going to announce the winners in our call, first Tuesday call on April 5th. Now, I know all y'all are saying now, Dr. Miner, is unfair. Your state convention has a competitive edge. You're involved in this. Y'all already been started. You've already done greased the skids and whatnot, and y'all will get $1,000 hands down. But I tell you what, we're messing our state convention health ministry separately. Pastor Montgomery already done it. I gave him a plastic bag, and he's been going down the highway collecting cans, and we'll soon have that money together to take care of them. So we got you covered for our state convention. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to personally add an additional $500 as a gift card from me if the winning state convention beats our enrollment numbers. We're going to be enrolling folks. So whatever number you get, if you exceed what Mid-South churches and our group do, we're going to add $500 to it. So it's a potential for the winning state convention to get $1,500 for your health ministry. So let's understand this again. They got to go into this Let's Move, letsmovenbc.com. Make sure you put your church and your state convention name down there, because if you don't put it down there, we'll know who you are. And look, if you don't have a church, a state convention, just put the Mid-South churches, and that'd be if you have a church or state convention, put National Baptist. I'm just joking tonight, but do that. We're gonna tally it up, and again, it's the potential for $1,500 for the state convention's gift card for the state convention health ministry to do some great work. These are all part of things that Dr. Young is doing, that we, even though we have been meeting in person, trying to find creative ways to keep us connected as a body of Christ. And again, it's between today and March 31st at 11:59 p.m. What do you think about that, Sister Nettie?
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
All right.
I mean,
All right, look, correct. We know it says church. So this is what we're going to do. We know it has church on it, and we're going to see, can we add another thing that says state convention? But what we're going to do, we can also backtrack. We can also backtrack if you got your church down there before. We're going to try to make that correction tonight.
Yeah.
But we also know that your church should be registered with your state convention, and we can just check and verify. But we also had to thank you, Dr. Geraldine. And look, don't blame Sister Nettie. I just had this epiphany tonight. Heard what we're doing for our National Baptist, everything. And if you haven't downloaded our H.O.P.E app, we have a H.O.P.E app, H.O.Pe app. You can download it from the Google Store, Google Play Store. Or what's the other thing? What's the other phone? The iPhone. Yeah, iPhone. Some people do have those iPhones. You can download the H.O.P.E app. And Let's Move National Baptist on our H.O.P.E app, and we can push information. If you haven't downloaded that app, you need to go and do that. All right. So the Sister Nettie, how was
phenomenal? Like I did. This is new. I am excited, and this is wonderful. And we, Dr. Miner, set a goal when we were talking about this to have 1,000 individuals signed up this month, and that's easily done if you just think about 40 churches that have 25 people, right? And don't have to be members of your churches. Remember that we are to be a light in the communities where our churches sit.
Family, friends, frenemies.
Family, friends, people that you work out with or might want to work out with. Just let folks know, come on and connect, because it's all about honoring God with our body. And he is putting some cha-ching for health ministries across the nation as a award. This is great. Thank you so much.
Look at that, my Sister Pierre on Facebook. I guess she was really paying attention. Then she come back and said, look, when you put that website on the Facebook page, I had to type it in there. All night, everything was cool. I started talking about some stipends. Oh, what's the website? Where we gonna be at? Okay, so do that. And again, it's what's that name on that thing? It's a weird way it is on out. Well, how's our app listed now? Hold on, because I got another phone. What's it? It's actually listed as NBC H.O.P.E on the in the Play Store. NBC. Not NBC USA, but it's NBC H.O.P.E. NBC H.O.P.E. NBC H.O.P.E. Download the app. You can click it. It's got information on there. On it now. I'm looking at it. Oh, it looks so beautiful. Let's Move National Baptist, all of us, Trinity Wellness, all right there. Amen on that. Look, thank you, Sister Nettie. Thank you, Sister Ellen. Thank you, Dr. Lavora. And don't forget, we'll be doing this each month, the first Tuesday. So the first Tuesday, but we'll go back to we'll be shorter. It'll be about a half hour, unless it goes a little bit further with our guests that we have from our congregations. If you like to, in April, we're going to highlight some things from Taste Test Sunday. So if you got a special recipe or a video or pictures that you'd like to share, send them to info@hopenbc.com, info@hopenbc.com. We'll take a look at them, and you might be our special guest when we come back for our first Tuesday on April 5th at 8 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Central Time. We moved it back later because of our colleagues on the West Coast. They told us, hey, y'all have them, and we'll still be at work. So we're trying to look at our whole entire body of our National Baptists. Okay. All right. But again, thank you all. So we're getting ready for the Q&A part. We've covered so much this evening, y'all. So now the best part to answer some of y'all's questions. And my goodness, do we have a lot of questions to answer? We know I see some hands up and everything. We know some of y'all are going to have to leave. Make sure you take the survey as we're doing. Sister Baxter, yeah, we will have a recording. It was on our Facebook page, but we'll also probably have something available on YouTube as well. Just email info@hopenbc.com and we'll let you know when that is available. All right. Okay. That sounds good. We want to again remind you about the All of Us research program from NIH, our major sponsor this evening. Don't forget to go to Hope to joinallofus.org/NBCUSA. Do that tonight. joinallofus.org/NBCUSA. Don't forget our March marketing updates. So our March marketing updates, we got some things coming in March. We just missed American Kidney Sunday, which is this past Sunday. We got World Kidney Day, which is, my bad. World American Kidney Sunday is this Sunday, first Sunday in March. And American Kidney Day is March 8th. I think Duke has a JPEG for us for our observances. March 10th is National Women and Girls HIV Awareness Day. Then we got Taste Test Sunday. We all been talking about there on March 20th. Okay. And we got this whole month is National Cholesterol Cancer Awareness Month. And as Sister Ellen said, it's National Nutrition Month. And it's also National Autoimmune Disease Awareness Month. So go to our page, hopenbc.com, and go to the Health of Services. And there are other information there that you may find helpful. We got some training upcoming, Health Ambassador training. You can learn how to do some of these things. We got some great opportunities for you to learn about this Hope Ministry, about the All of Us, about Let's Move, how you get some of this training, how you can look at some resources, both financial and otherwise, national, for your region, for your state. We got some webinars. We have 7 regions, just like the Sunday School Publishing Board, the Southeast, Southwest 1 and 2, Far West, Northeast, Midwest, and West region. We have some great regional coordinators. You can go to our site, hopenbc.com, to meet them. Our first regionalist virtual webinar is going to be Saturday. That's right. It's going to be Saturday, March 5th at 10 a.m. Eastern. All the time, this is our Eastern time. All right. Sister Brooklyn Rogers is our regional coordinator. It'll start at 10. And each one of these webinars, we're going to have information also from our Sunday School Publishing Board. We're doing this in collaboration with the Publishing Board, and they're going to share some things about the Vacation Bible School kits. So a whole series of them. The first one is this Saturday. You can email us. We'll have information also on our National Baptist Convention Facebook page. March 5th, then the next one is going to be March the 12th in the West region. The following week is March 19th, Southwest 2, and so on and so forth. Whatever region you're in, if you can't get the information here and miss it on one of our pages, just email us at info@hopenbc.com. We also got several training sessions coming up. So you can learn how to become a health ambassador. It's 8 hours and we break it down in 2-hour modules. We make it interesting. We got some a little Q&A, some YouTube videos, fun and games to learn about hope, what it's all about, the connection between health and wholeness. It's just been great. Our health training is so good until it has several published articles talking about how good it's been and helping people of color be healthier. So do that again, Health Ambassador Training. We got several training sessions coming up. Email us info@hopenbc.com. Look, as we're starting to get out of the pandemic, we're looking at doing some hybrid training, virtual and in person. If you're a group of churches or your state convention is interested, let us know. We'll see what we can do about getting it set up. But we hope that you'll be able to join one of the sessions that we have. I know that the Alabama Missionary Baptist State Convention has approached us, and we're going to be working with them on a session. Also, Mid-South Churches has talked to us. So just let us know. We're all a part of this National Baptist Convention. And so now we want to make sure now that you participate in one of those regional meetings. And of course, the price is free, but you need to, for some of them, you need to go ahead and register because they're going to email out a booklet, a guide beforehand. All right, now look, we're now for the question in the chat. Let me get the question we already have here first. And again, our app is listed at Hope. Is NBC H.O.P.E. That's how it's listed in the App Store. Next time we have one up here and everything. All right. Okay. Yes, Sister Gaines, we're happy, glad that you were happy to see coming behind me the Pittsburgh Steelers logo. That was entertaining too. Okay, we'll thank you all for those Steelers fans. All right. We try to answer the question. People ask about the COVID-19 reopening guide. We put the link in the chat on Zoom and on Facebook so you can go there. The other resources available. Look, the resource guide we put together is wherever you are. If you have been virtual, you've been hybrid, whatever, some great resources there. We can get that done. All right. When will the link for this meeting be posted? All right. Well, we'll get together with our tech team. What normally we do, this is already on Facebook, but we know some of you all are like Facebook and like water and oil. Y'all don't mix. So we are going to have a version on YouTube. And we'll get you the link for YouTube as well. And we'll share that on our convention Facebook page. And once we do an update on this, we'll also have it on the webpage. So Duke, I hope you're writing that down. We'll make sure you have the link for our YouTube page. All right. Okay. So Sister Ellen, so Duke, you can put all of our panelists on up here now. It says, Sister Ellen, is air frying a good alternative to frying?
Yes, air frying is an excellent alternative to frying. You can eliminate the oil. You can eliminate the flour, and so the flour is a refined grain, and so it has a higher glycemic index. And for those of us who are trying to stay away from type 2 diabetes or who are pre-diabetic, we know that the flour is no bueno for us, no good for us. And we also know that the oil that we fry foods in, they're high in saturated fat and they can cause higher cholesterol or heart attacks. So yes, the air fryer is a better option. Lightly season it with your fresh, herbs and spices or your dried spices, and then just pop it on into the air fryer. So yeah, great question.
All right. What about oxtails?
What about oxtails? So here's this thing. It's all about moderation. All right. So we don't want you to overdo the oxtails. So oxtails would fall into protein. And so if you are consuming protein, the recommendation for protein per meal is 3 ounces. And if you don't know what 3 ounces is the middle of your fist. So if you're having oxtails, you need about this much If you're having them over rice, I recommend brown rice or whole brown rice or wild rice because they're whole grains, and make certain that you have a colorful vegetable on that plate as you consume your oxtails.
Okay, and he's not on our direct call. He's in the background looking up to us as Pastor Bernard Montgomery. He's our national training director. We have several people who are asking questions about they may want one of us to talk to their health ministry or their state convention president about getting involved with the health ministry. Well, look, email us at info@hopenbc.com and we'll set it up. We'll get a phone call. We'll do a Zoom call, whatever it takes. We'll be more than happy to share with this. Hope Health Ministry has been around now for 12 years, going 12 years now. And so we'll do that. Okay. All right. We're going through all the questions. You can also raise your hand. And we're going to be ending shortly. All right. Some of our state convention presidents are having fun there, Sister Ellen. They talked about how oxtails are delicious, you know.
Well, I'm certain that they are, but all things in moderation, especially for the men of God who experience a high level of stress. So in addition to stress that, is plaguing their arteries and causing high blood pressure, we don't want them to be consuming foods or proteins that are high in saturated fat. They can also elevate their blood pressure.
All right. We have another question is, why do we always fix preachers' special preacher plates?
That's a question for you, huh, Dr. Miner?
Well, the preacher plate is they put the biggest piece of chicken and a whole bunch of everything you got. And if it's one of those, I was at one gathering with a pastor and I asked him why he had 4 desserts. He said 4 different of his mothers had cooked it. And if he didn't eat each one of the desserts, they would be offended. So there's always the biggest everything on the preacher plate.
Well, I think that speaks to a culture shift. And so I think that if you're giving the preacher the biggest plate or the biggest piece of chicken, you're trying to say, I love you. So if you truly love the man of God, your preacher, your pastor, your shepherd, you want him to be in good health. You want him to be around. You don't want him to be in the hospital. So
or her.
We don't want her to be in the hospital. So, whenever you are fixing that preacher plate, make certain it's the healthiest plate that you can give him or her, so that he or she can be here for the long haul.
Well, it worked out for me because I like the legs and the thighs. So there's no problem for me. I don't like cake and pie, so I avoided a whole lot of this stuff. Somebody asked me was something wrong with me, and when they found out I didn't eat fried chicken, I didn't eat cake, I didn't eat pie, and I don't drink iced tea. And they said, "Are you National Baptist?" Okay, I said, "Well, yeah, I just don't like those things." But anyway, all right. So, question. So, Sister Nettie. So let's say him and let's move. Is that so? You talk about the person in the wheelchair. So, what are some things that a person in a wheelchair could do about moving?
Certainly. Well, first of all, I would say we would look at the reason why the individual is in the wheelchair. So this is a temporary situation where maybe there is some rehab that is going on. If that is the case, then there probably has been some physical therapy exercises, things that have been already prescribed by a medical professional. If this is due to an illness or a disability that is more long-term, so maybe there isn't a physical therapy type situation, we would then start at looking at where are your abilities, what are the areas that you want to start to move forward from, and then start to look at what exercises would be safe for you to do so. A lot of times people will immediately say, well, just jump on ahead and do chair aerobics, but what muscle groups are you working? You really have to, that's why when we go through Let's Move National Baptist, we're gonna do some assessments first. They will be self-assessments where you can rely on resources that you have around, because again, one size doesn't fit all. So you want to look at where you are, where are your abilities, and then we're working on abilities to build functional movement and then to add on strength on top of that. But it has to start with an assessment of where you are.
All right. Duke, would you type in the chat? We still have some people going to both app stores and they're not able to get it. So you can get exactly like it's listed in the app store. Type that in the chat. And also we'll let one of our team members, Sister Ellen, whoever's there, can get to our National Baptist Facebook page. We'll make sure to get it because we got several people here that we want to make sure that you get that. and are able to get to it great. And thank God, look, it's a poor dog gonna wag his own tail. Thank God for all these Mississippi and Alabama churches and state conventions. Why you say Mississippi and Alabama? I was reared in Mississippi, passed in Mississippi, state conventions in Mississippi, but I was born in Alabama. So I got both states covered, okay? All right, look, here we go. Here's Sister Ellen. They're talking about want to purchase the nutritional plate. Purchase it? Wow.
So the actual plate, this is Dr. Miner's favorite plate because I pull it out all the time, but you can get this on Amazon. So if you were trying to do a presentation at your church and you want to have a visual aid with this plate, you can purchase it's called My Plate. It's USDA's My Plate, and you can purchase it on Amazon, and it's relatively inexpensive. There are also lots of posters on myplate.gov with free resources and materials, and education materials that you can pass out to your congregation.
All right, hold on. I got a correction to you all on the Apple App Store. Apple made some changes. And so we have to provide an update on the Apple App Store. So if I'm looking at for Brother Duke, that should be taken care of this week. I know it was a hard time for us getting on there to begin with, so we have to make an update. So it is available on the Android. If you're on Android, it shouldn't be any problem getting it. On the Apple App Store, that should be updated at some point this week. So if you, between now and next week, that should be taken care of. All this stuff with technology. Wow. All right. So Duke, would you go in and just get that, what we do have? And I'm going to. Okay. All right. Membership. Okay. Get it on Android, people saying, wow. All right. So you can go and get on the Android. All right. And he's going to type that in on us on that. Okay. And take can also do an activity with the place using paper plates and markers. Oh, yes. For coming into, yes, Sister Ellen, right? For Vacation Bible School stuff.
Absolutely. It's a great activity to do with the youth ministry or the children's ministry. So you can help them understand what My Plate should look like, the different colors, and just to always remind them, even on their little baby plates, that it should indeed be colorful, and to familiarize them with the different portions of My Plate. So yes, you can definitely do it with a paper plate.
Okay, so something to add on to when you get your SSPB Vacation Bible School kit. This is a nice add-on for you all. Okay, you can do that. All right, they're asking, are you all available to speak to our state convention or to our association, our church or whatnot? So,
Dr. Miner?
Yes. So email us at info@hopenbc.com. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Our folks are busy. They got things, they work and whatnot. We prefer to have groups of churches, preferably a state convention, to do it. Because we know there's over 31,000 National Baptist churches, and there's no way for us to do all the churches. So we just contact your state convention president, your moderator, get with us, and as one of the auxiliaries of your convention, we're more than happy to support you, but help us. And now in this virtual world, how we get that together. We can do that. All right. All right. They're saying, yes, Mississippi is here. Yes, Mississippi is here. All right. Okay. I think we about got all our questions. And again, Pastor Montgomery will again remind you all that there are several health ambassador training classes coming up. Email at info@hopenbc.com. He's also said he's going to post his phone number on the Zoom chat so that you can call him directly. There's a lot of things training come up, wants to get you involved in that. And people want to find out more about all of us research. Again, go to that website where I'm going. Other way, joinallofus.org/NBCUSA. Find that information out. And we love to you once you join that. We'll send some information about that, please. We would love for you all to do that. We believe that this is an opportunity for us to do something against this sickle cell stuff. All right. Look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get ready to end our social media part of it. We're going to hang tight here for a few minutes on those that watched on Zoom. This has been incredible numbers. I think the numbers that we're showing from we're across multiple numbers of Facebook and Zoom and YouTube pages, and on our parent body, Facebook, and all this other stuff. We have probably had about 300 people that watched this first run with everything. And in this environment where people are sick and tired of Zoom, we just thank you all for joining tonight. Hey, team, that must mean that we did a good job in providing some quality information. So next month, Tuesday, April the 5th, we'll start our monthly series. We'll post information to all our pages. You come in and join. We're going to announce the winner, the top 4 people and the enrollment. Oh, somebody said they might collude, and all of them only get 10 apiece. All right, okay, all right, we get okay. All right, so this is what we're gonna say to do. The state convention has to get at least 50 people. Okay, thank you. Now that's so sad. Come on now. So one more thing on that. To qualify, you need at least 50 people to enroll. Y'all are so funny tonight. Lord help us, Jesus. Y'all so we have some funny folks on watching tonight. So we need at least 50 people to be counted in those top 4 prizes. And of course, if you meet what Miss South Church to do, we'll add that extra $500 gift card to it. Okay, we're going to end on social media. Let me do a thing here. You may join us, y'all, on our social media. And that's at our HopeNBC.com. You also can go to our National Baptist Convention webpage, nationalbaptist.com. We have our Hope Facebook page, our National Baptist Facebook page. We are moving and are sharing information so that you can have more things in one location. Give us a moment, but at some point you can have everything at one spot on our nationalbaptist.com, everything in one spot on Facebook. Just allow us an opportunity to get it together. We're on Twitter at Hope_NBCUSA. We're on YouTube, NBCUSA Hope, and also our National Baptist Convention page. Don't forget to complete the survey. The link has been pasted there in the chat. All right, and we thank God for our team, Dr. Desi Levy, Sister Lottie Minor, Sister Bettina Campbell, Pastor Dexter Moraney, Sister Ellen McKnight, you saw tonight, Dr. Felisa Washington, Minister Geraldine Moore, Sister Loretta Miller, Dr. Lavora Williams, you saw tonight, Sister Nettie Johnson, you saw tonight, Dr. Marion Talley, Thomas Duke Robinson, who's our tech person, our host on Zoom tonight. And we're so excited about our 7 regional coordinators, Pastor Daniel Blackburn in the Northeast, Sister Brooklyn Rogers in the Southeast, Pastor Bernard Montgomery, Southwest 1, Sister Linda Copper, Southwest 2, Sister Teresa Fales Farr in the Midwest, Sister Norma P. Jackson in the West, and Dr. Richmond Johnson in the Far West, your Hope NBC regional coordinators. Once again, we acknowledge our president, Dr. Jerry Young, who reminds us to envision the future exceptionally. This has been a production of the National Baptist Convention, USA Incorporated, the nation's largest Black denomination. God bless and God keep you is our prayer.